Welcome to the Lights Lounge, your weekly home for all things Las Vegas Lights FC. We're here every single week in 2025. You can join us for a deeper dive into everything that happens on the pitch, including match previews and analysis, alongside a new guest every single week. The Lights are continuing their 3-game East Coast road trip this week at Pittsburgh after a tough loss at league-leading Louisville, while down to 10 men last weekend. Making the start in that one after a knee injury sidelined him for part of the summer was today's guest. So alongside me today to chat about all of that is midfielder Rory O'Driscoll. Rory, welcome to the lounge.
Thank you, Will.
Happy to have you in here. Happy to be showcasing your brand new haircut. So I want to kick off with what was the inspiration behind the new look?
Yeah, good question. I've been asked it many times. Not too much of an inspiration, really. I'd had long hair since I was 15. And yeah, pretty much a decade. I was like, I need to do something different with it, and I figured I'd go for a buzz.
Ready for a change.
Big change, yeah.
I was, I saw plenty of the phases of long hair going through old, like college roster pictures.
It was real long at one point. Yeah,
some good headbands.
Yeah.
Giving Tommy McNamara a good run for his
Tommy McNamara vibes, yeah.
One other thing I saw, we're going to continue with silly questions off the top today, because why not? I was looking through your college portfolio. You were asked a couple questions by the sports information department for the website.
Sure, yeah.
Favorite movie, Good Will Hunting?
Good Will Hunting, yeah.
Still feel that way?
Yeah, probably.
Love that. My favorite movie.
Incredible
as well.
movie.
Yeah. It's like I've probably watched it 10 times.
Yeah.
So
I'd say I'm only like 3 or 4, but
okay.
10 times, that's a good number.
I can watch it. It's like that movie that if I find out you haven't seen it, then you're sitting down with me and we're watching it.
Yeah.
What other favorite movies?
Oh, good question. Classic like Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay, nice. So love of Christopher Nolan.
Love of Christopher Nolan.
Interstellar, Inception.
Inception. I loved Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I'd say Oppenheimer's in that list actually too. So I'll say Oppenheimer, Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
And Good Will Hunting.
Nice. Have you seen Arrival?
I haven't, no.
Oh, Denis Villeneuve.
I've heard good things.
One of my favorites. If you like the Christopher Nolan type movies, you would like Arrival a lot.
Okay.
So there we go. Okay, let's talk about soccer.
Yeah.
Let's first talk about the game at Louisville last weekend, which you got the start in. Obviously, the team goes down early, down 1-0, and then goes down to 10 men after Tommy McNamara gets sent off. Take me inside, like what are the vibes at that point when you're down 1-0, you're on the road to the league leaders, you go down to 10 men. How does the team react in that moment?
Yeah, it's tough. It's like obviously a gut shot to concede an early goal and then another one to get a red, especially for Tommy, who's our captain, a leader on the field. I think you just need to find it within yourself, find kind of a second gear to switch back on and turn things around. And I feel like we did a good job of that. Like we reacted well. Johnny gets a very good goal. And yeah, we just try and stick together, and we were trying to hold it down for as long as we could.
I think getting that goal right before halftime is really key in a game like that. Like you can't
big boost.
You have to score the next goal. Once you're already down. Like you have to have something that you can believe in and hang on to. Which I think was good. And then ultimately in the second half, you just kind of. I talked to Devin for media availability earlier today, and it's like, you really end up just conceding 2 kind of poor set pieces at the end of the day. But like good fight in the second half. It's always difficult. Like you're coming back out of halftime facing 45 minutes of defending deep and hoping for like a 1 goal or holding on to a point in the road. So it's a difficult prospect, but I don't know, like, are you proud of the fight that the team showed, or what did you think of that?
Yeah, I was incredibly disappointed when that second goal went in, because I was really kind of starting to grow in belief that we can do this. Like we were under the cosh a little bit, but I felt like we were in a decent spot and handling it well enough to where we could get a result. So I was very disappointed when that second one went in. And the set pieces we need to be better. The second one happens. Like I was in the wall, it flicked off my head, and Ryko's wrong-footed. It happens. But
was it the deflection off your head then? 'Cause I wasn't sure. I mean, I was on the opposite end of the field filming, so I couldn't tell if it was you or if it came off of Johnny.
No, it was me. which sucks. But,
I don't know. That happens though.
It does happen. Like I felt like I had to go for it. It was instinct. Like if I don't go for it, who knows? I'd back Ryko, but in the moment, you feel it's a shot on target. And you want to stop it.
It's 10 yards away from you. You can't judge the trajectory of the ball based on that. Like obviously you can go back and look at film and go, if Rory just let it go past him.
Yeah.
But then if you let it go past him and it goes in the back of the net, then you're getting ripped apart in the
film
room. So,
yeah. And if I'm a centimeter taller, who knows? Like maybe that's popping a different direction.
Maybe you shouldn't have cut your hair.
I shouldn't have cut my hair. That's true. That's true.
From that game though, like what's the positive takeaway from you?
Positives are that we know we can stick together and like find something within us when things aren't going our way to turn it around. Yeah. Like that's a good positive to take away. I felt it's such a hard place to go and play. And I did feel like we fought and we worked for 90 minutes, 95 minutes. But yeah, it's just disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there
those
are
are kind
positives.
of hopefully one that you look back on and go like, even though it wasn't a result, maybe it's a little turning point here in this like mini stretch of the season trying to make playoffs. It's like, okay, we learned something about ourselves there and got a little bit of belief off of that.
Yeah.
So looking ahead to Pittsburgh, maybe sort of a similar vibe to playing at Louisville. Louisville are a very direct team. They like to go long. Second balls are super important. Do you guys view this game as a similar style of road game as to what you just experienced in Louisville?
I think so. Yeah. I think we're going to be playing against a team that's pumping it down your throat all game long, and it's not the best of fields. If I could be wrong, but I feel like they have quite a good environment, a lot of people that come. I'm sure it'll be they'll be able to gain energy from the crowd or something, and we'll have to find our own energy to deal with it.
Yeah, artificial turf there, good crowd. They're in a playoff spot. They're having a good season. Artificial turf is always tough. I think it's like a similar profile to playing away at Indy 11. I think you were injured when we went.
I was,
But that was like the big statement away win of this, of when Gio was at interim. I think it's kind of a similar profile game to playing away at Indy 11.
Yeah, well, that tells you we can do it.
100%. Let's talk about Devin and his tactics. How do you feel his tactical profile fits you as an individual player?
Decently. I as like the two deeper lying pivots, I feel like I'm at times able to get on the ball and connect with the guy in the middle, or connect with Tommy at the 10 or whoever's playing the 10. It's a good system though. Like it works. It's given us a bit of an identity to rally around, and it's good.
What do you view yourself as a player? Like, what's your best role as a midfielder? Do you view yourself as like a true number 8? Or
I'd prefer to play as like a box-to-box 8, 'cause I just feel like I can contribute going forward and defensively. Sometimes you got to limit yourself a little bit if you're playing the 6, or limit yourself as a 10. And we don't quite have that true box-to-box role as an 8. But then there are moments when you're the partner 6 you're playing with holds, and you have that freedom to go, or vice versa, and you just need to be able to fill different roles. So
yeah, absolutely. What would you say is like your top 1, 2, 3 strengths as a player?
1, 2, 3 strengths as a player. I think I love to combine. So little 1-2s here and there are something that I love to do, and I am confident doing. I think I'm willing to run and work for the group. So I will always trust myself to be the guy that puts the hard work in and does the dirty work if we need that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, I think, and we'll talk about it as we talk through your college career and your career at Minnesota later, but you've always had a knack for scoring goals from midfield. We started to see that when you scored a great goal away at Orange County in the Jägermeister Cup. Unfortunately, that's also the game that you injured your knee in. But I feel like that's a part of your game as well that we haven't quite seen everything from under Devin's tactical profile quite yet. But let's talk about that injury a little bit. I mean, fans will see you sporting the knee brace since coming back.
Sporting the knee brace.
How are you feeling kind of coming off of that injury layoff, and I think you're finally back into 90-minute fitness and starting games again. But
yeah.
How's it feeling health-wise?
Finally, it's feeling good.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it stays that way.
Sure, hopefully this doesn't jinx it. But
no, I really hope it doesn't. But feeling good finally. And it's just like such a good feeling to be back and actually feel my body feeling good and feeling fitness where I wanted it to be. Because like that intermediate phase when you're coming back off an injury can be really tough. Just not having the pitch awareness that you want to have, not having a fitness that you want to have, and touch feels a little off, whatever it is. So slowly have felt like I'm getting back to my full self.
Have you dealt with an injury layoff before?
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a familiar feeling to you, working your way back in.
Yeah, I've dealt with a few, and it's never ever fun. So,
Absolutely. Playoff hunt. I kind of here we are again. Like I feel like we're talking about must win every week, but it's mathematically it's becoming more and more and more must win.
Yeah.
How important do you think Pittsburgh is on Saturday to that?
Massive.
Yeah.
Like, we have 5 games. We need at minimum 4 wins probably.
Yeah. I think so too. Like 4 wins, like mathematically 4 wins gets you to 37 points. 5 wins gets you to 40 points. Points per game, like looking back, like obviously now there's only 30 games in the USL season. Before there were 34. But if you look at points per game, like that 37 to 40 is right about the threshold to sneak in at 8th place. Yeah. So you could get unlucky. It just kind of depends on results around. But it does seem like 4 wins out of 5 is pretty much the minimum at this point. So, and 4 out of 5 are on the road. So, there's no real time. Like you kind of have to go get a result in Pittsburgh right now in order to not put yourself in a 4 wins out of 4 scenario going into the last stretch of the season. Yeah. So, what do you feel like is the most important factor in getting 3 points at Pittsburgh? Like if we're successful and get 3 points, it's because we did what?
I think on the field, it's going to be just second balls, working as hard as we can, staying organized defensively, because they're going to be a team that's probably going to put us under some pressure in moments. And then when we get our chances, we got to be clinical and take them.
Talk about second balls to me, maybe for someone that isn't quite as familiar with more in-depth soccer tactics. You as a midfielder, what's your role in picking up second balls? What are you looking for in those scenarios? And like, how are you going to be successful in picking up second balls in a game like this?
I think from my perspective, it's as the ball is coming over my head, I got to be aware of where the center mid, who was probably just in front of me, is, and I'm turning my back away from him. He's behind me. Yeah. I got to make sure I'm in front of him then on this ball that hopefully Ellie or whoever's at center back is going to knock down and get it under control for us, so then we can move on to the next play and transition into our own attack.
Yeah, because teams like that, just like a sort of a tactics 101 point out here. Teams like that, like your Louisvilles, your Indies, your Pittsburghs, they're going to go long. They're going to avoid turning the ball over high against a high press team like us. They're going to want to just skip out the press. And then their goal is like, sometimes they're going to win the first ball, but if they don't, they want to get numbers forward as quickly as possible and create chaos there, right? Whereas we're trying to create chaos higher up the field with the press. They're trying to just knock it long and then win the second ball at that, and then be able to go attack and not have to break the midfield line through possession. Yeah. In which case, it's going to be very challenging for you, right? And that's where your first touch comes into play, and being able to like play out of those little tight spots, the little combos that you're talking about. So, yeah.
I mean, we saw that at Louisville. Like that's what they wanted. It worked on the first goal, I guess. Yeah. Other than that, I feel like we handled it decently, and the
profile of the game changes a little bit once you're down to 10 minutes anyways. So,
very true.
But okay, well, we'll see. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We'll go get some 3 points there. Let's talk about your journey to here, because you've got kind of a winding journey to playing in the heat of Las Vegas, coming from a lot of northern places. So you grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
What's it like growing up that far north? Because I have no idea. I grew up in Charlotte, and now I'm here, so I don't know what it's like to deal with the snow.
So you grew up in Charlotte?
Yeah.
I love Minneapolis. I love the Great North. Minnesota is quite a slept-on state, in my opinion.
Okay.
As
we were talking about that before we started recording, that like when I was in MLS with Charlotte FC, what I heard a lot was that the Minnesota United away trip in the summer is one of the best away trips you can have.
Yeah.
In the like
in March,
early spring or
March,
late,
not so much.
Yeah, like you don't want to be there when it's like still snowing outside and you're playing with an orange ball. That sounds terrible. But I've heard great things about it. I never got to go on the trip. We never got Minnesota away. We never got lucky enough to have that trip. But, or unlucky enough. But, yeah, it seems great.
It's a great city. I loved growing up there. It's kind of a beautiful mix between city and nature because there's land of 10,000 lakes. There's so many lakes and a lot of great nature that it's beautiful.
What was it like? Were you guys always living in Minneapolis, or are you like one of those people that's from Minneapolis but you're actually from a suburb, or like what did that look like growing up?
So we live in South Minneapolis, close to where the suburbs kind of start to come into play, but in Minneapolis.
Growing up, family, siblings,
older brother, mom and dad.
Okay,
good family.
Older brother also playing soccer. Is that some of your earliest soccer memories? Is like playing against your older brother in the yard and that kind of stuff? Talk me through that.
Classic older brother, younger brother dynamic. You know. I got pushed around, bullied on the field a lot, but I think that.
I was the older brother,
or the
younger brother, so I got to do the other side of that equation.
Yeah. Wow.
But so when did you start playing like soccer seriously? Were you always just soccer, or were you like a multi-sport kid?
I was always soccer. I played basketball until I was like 11 or 12, I think, but I was never gonna be a basketball player. What does
playing youth soccer in Minnesota look like? Like, just because I feel like in the winter it becomes impossible. Like, is it all indoor at that point, or what does the schedule year round look like?
Yeah, so you have your August to November or August to October season, and then you have a big break, winter training. You're in the dome, like just turf field, everything. That's actually, I'd say, the one thing that Minnesota prepped me for was turf fields quite a lot.
Oh, sure, yeah, because you just grew up playing on turf.
You can't maintain grass in the winter there at all.
Yeah.
And then spring comes around and you got a new season. So it was great. And then you're into the summer and get maybe a month off to do nothing, to be a kid.
Yeah.
And then back to the next season. Yeah.
Yeah, so just bunkering down over the winter.
For the most part bunkering down, but you're also like sledding, skating. Like, I love Minnesota winters. Like, it's freezing, it's bitter cold sometimes, but love them. Yeah.
Did you grow up like with winter sports, like skiing, playing any ice hockey or anything like that?
I sucked at skating when I was younger, and I'm still not great, but I've gotten quite a bit better to where like my friends and I can at least like go around and mess around on the lakes and play some pond hockey or something. I skied when I was younger, but I just used to just completely bomb it. Like no breaks, no pizza, no nothing.
It's like as you do as a kid when you have no sense of danger.
No.
You have no like ability to understand like how much danger you're putting yourself in.
Completely invincible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think I gave my mom a heart attack a few times doing that. But yeah.
I'm sure. I want to do that because surprisingly, Las Vegas is like actually a good ski town because of Lee Canyon being close here.
Where is Lee Canyon?
It's like 45 minutes away. Like if Summerlin, like the West Mountains, you can get up to Lee Canyon, and it's a really great ski resort because the elevation gets so high so quickly. Like you can go up there to Mount Charleston and stuff in the summer.
I guess.
And it's like
and
80
there's
degrees.
Still snow up there, right?
Yeah, and there's still, you can still see snow like in June and July.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So my girlfriend's family skis, so I want to learn to ski off season. Which is ironic that I've moved to the desert and I'm gonna learn to ski now. I've never skied before. I've never done any winter sports. Like I grew up in the southeast. And then here, so it's just like such a antithetical to me. Like
you're in for a treat.
Yeah, I guess so.
Skiing's super fun.
I'm in for like eating some snow a lot. I'm sure. Like and spend a lot of time on my butt early on.
You will be.
But
it's good fun.
When you go back home, like over the off seasons, are you doing anything like that? Like, what's your family get up to over the off seasons?
I think I've like tapered off of doing that stuff in recent years, just for safety reasons for the time being.
Let's not put a knee injury downhill in the skis.
But maybe a little bit of pond hockey or something.
Okay, cool.
And then my family their routine is pretty steady. Mom and dad are taking the dog out for a walk, and my brother lives over in uptown Minneapolis, and he's just doing his thing working. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about youth soccer. I think you played for Minneapolis United as like a little kid originally.
I did.
Allegedly, you're a 5-time state tournament champion.
I am.
I don't know. That's what Wikipedia tells me.
It's true.
So were you guys just the best in the state?
So
how it was?
So there's one kind of semi-asterisk there.
Okay.
There's state tournament and then there's state cup.
Okay.
And state cup, I think, is the slightly more important one. Okay. But state tournament, we won for like...
What is the difference? Isn't state cup just a tournament? And so it's state tournament? I'm still confused here.
State tournament is like, that ends at state. But state cup, I guess, there's regionals and then there's nationals.
If you win it, then you continue on. Yeah.
And I don't think I ever won state cup. Maybe 1 year.
Yeah.
I don't think so, though.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I never got to go to regionals. But like after I left Minneapolis United, that team that I was on, I think they won state cup several times. And
okay.
But yeah, to your point, like Minneapolis United is absolutely top. Program. Like they're great. They're great. I think their U15s, U16s were in the national final this year. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So very like well-known non-academy youth club, right? How long did you play for them? Like when did you leave?
I started playing for them when I was like 7, but they have a rec program that I probably played for before that even. And then that I did play for before that. And then I left when I was going into U14.
Okay.
So,
so right around like you've played 11v11 for 2 years or so, and then you start to separate out. You realize too. So then you move on to Minnesota Thunder Academy.
Yep.
Okay, so my like very basic research here. Minnesota Thunder were a professional club.
They were.
That folded in like 2009, which you would have been like 9 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused why Minnesota Thunder Academy is still around at the time.
Stayed on.
It just stayed on.
Yeah.
Like, okay. On. So like everything that was kind of developed when they were a professional club just kind of stayed on as like an independent youth club at that point. Okay, interesting.
Completely right.
So why move on to Minnesota Thunder at that time?
So I knew the coaches at Minnesota Thunder Academy very well. I would do summer camps with this one coach, Ralph Lecale, who is a big part of my development. And they were trying to get me over there. I felt like where I was at Minneapolis United, that it's a great club, but I was also at a point where I was like a little bit underdeveloped, and that was a very athletic club that the coaches were looking to play direct, and I felt like I was not really fitting the style that they were looking for.
Yeah.
And I was worried actually that I wasn't going to get much playing time the following year. So I left because that other team, Minnesota Thunder, is probably a little bit more technical. And I felt like it would be a good place for me to develop that side of my game and continue to develop that side of my game.
Okay. And they were they in like the DA? Were they in Development Academy at the time?
MTA was DA.
Got you.
And yeah, DA was great. I loved the DA. I'm disappointed that they folded, but MLS Next is the same thing. So
yeah, it's just same thing, different name.
Yeah.
So you started with the U15-16 team,
yeah,
right? So for those who aren't familiar, like the way DA worked at the time was you had a U15-16 team that was both age groups combined,
yeah,
and then you had a 17-18 team that was both age groups combined.
Yes.
So I think you started with the 15-16s,
yeah,
were doing really well, and then started playing up with the 17-18s up in age group, yeah?
So kind of.
Okay.
I went in when I was 14 with them, and pretty early on, the coaches kind of noticed there was something wrong with how I was running.
Oh.
So they were like, yeah, you should go to a doctor. Like, you should get this checked out. And I went in and got some MRIs on my knees, and they saw like a few regions of what's called osteochondritis dissecans.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a bone disorder, and I wasn't getting proper blood flow to parts of my knees, and my bone was dying.
Oh, wow.
So I had some dead bone in there, and I had to get surgery on both knees, and that was like 18 to 20 months probably all in all.
Gosh.
So yeah.
So you didn't play for like
I didn't
2 years?
Yeah. So I went into MTA when I was 14, and then played for that first fall, and then that following winter, spring, I think it was like March,
yeah,
I got surgery March of 2015, and then didn't get back to playing until end of fall, winter of 2016.
Wow. Yeah. So full year and then another half year.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah.
So it was a long time out, and
wow,
I am very grateful to MTA for even like keeping me on the roster and keeping me, having faith in me at that point. Cause
that's crazy. And that's like such a pivotal development. I mean, you're like 15 years old at this point. Like that is such a pivotal time of developing. When you got back, I mean, how long did it take you till you felt like you were back at the level?
Yeah, a good while. I came back like that, like kind of late fall, and just didn't feel anywhere near myself. I remember I tried to come back in the summer and came back too early, and I had to sit out again.
Yeah. Like while you were out, were you like at what point were you able to start running again, or like what was the recovery timeline like?
Yeah, so it was 6 weeks in like a brace, no weight bearing, so just crutches, and then get the crutches off. I think there was like a 2-week stint of learning to walk a little bit, and then I had to get another surgery to get the screws out, and then it was rest for another 2 weeks. Like that's not a serious surgery, so just light recovery from that, and that was, I want to say that was on my right one first actually, and then I got my left one done immediately after.
Do them simultaneously?
No, not well. Apparently that's an option, but I don't know if I could have dealt with being in a wheelchair for however long. And actually, I ended up meeting a college teammate of mine who did do both of his knees for the same thing at the same time. Yeah, and he was in a wheelchair for a while, so trying to like navigate high school in a wheelchair, it would have been tough. No, totally. It was hard enough on crutches. But and then 6 weeks not weight bearing for the other side, a little break, get the screws out, and then from that point on, just like tons and tons of rehab. Like I remember like 3-4 hours a day, and because it was both sides, I had like so much stuff to do. Wow. I remember at least 30 minutes a day each leg. I was sitting, just laying on the couch in like the range of motion machine that was just
like they have for the ACL surgeries, right? Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Just like doing all the work for you, just sitting there, you're bored out of your mind, like hating life, like but you know, I was kind of exposed to that early on in a way, and I felt like I like gained quite a lot of mental toughness because of it. I just still struggle to deal with injuries because everybody does. It's the worst part of the game. But
so when I asked you earlier if you've ever dealt with an injury layoff before, you were like, "Oh yeah, I've dealt with an injury layoff before."
I dealt with and that was the biggest, thankfully. But it is no fun at all.
Yeah, for sure. So then you start making your way back in, and you make your way in late fall, early winter. You're training in the dome at that point. Yeah. How long until you're back and like really
feeling good,
like playing at a good level again?
Yeah. Good couple months. I had never like coming out of it. I felt like just kind of like the same player that I was before, like good but not unbelievable. Yeah. And then I had one game against Shattuck St. Mary's, which was in like February of 2017 then, I think. So this was my junior year, and I was halfway through my junior year, and I had like no real interest from Division I colleges, because I had been hurt for as long as I had been hurt. And coming out of the showcase in the winter, I had like a couple D3 schools reach out or whatever, but I knew I wanted to play Division I soccer, and we had the game against Shattuck St. Mary's like early February, and I just like had the best game that I had ever played, and felt confident. Just felt like everything, just one of those games. Everything you do, like it comes off. I think I scored a pen, and we won the game or something like that. Sure. And the next day I got an email from like Cornell or in Wisconsin, and it was just kind of an eye-opening moment of like, all right, I came out of this and I'm better off for it. Like it just boosted my confidence so much, in particular on the pitch, of course, but also off the field, that I can kind of tackle anything that's put in front of me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is right around the same time that Minnesota United would have been like starting their expansion year.
Yep.
Were they part of the conversation? Because they didn't open up with an academy, right?
They didn't. Not for my age, at least.
Right.
They opened up, and I don't think they had one for the first year. And then the next year, they started their like U12, U13 academy and built up.
Okay.
So I don't know if I would have switched. Maybe they would have been.
You were so late at that point.
Yeah, I was going into my senior year. I had I owed a lot to MTA, and I probably would have stuck with them anyway. So,
fair enough. Being in Minneapolis at the time I know Minnesota United launched with a lot of fanfare. There's always been great support for the NASL team there, and everything. Do you remember that being a big deal? Like, were you going to games as a junior at that time?
If memory serves, it's their inaugural home match was at what was TCF Bank Stadium at the time, and is now Huntington Bank. But I went to that, and it was a snow game because February, March, or whatever it is, against Atlanta United, and that's like Jose Martinez, Miguel Almiron, a couple other guys who are ballers. And Minnesota got pummeled, 6-1, I think.
I remember this.
Yeah,
because they were both expansion teams. And they were like matched up with each other on opening night.
But brilliant game to go watch. Super fun in tons of snow, freezing weather. I remember my toes were struggling to stay on. It was pretty cool though.
Yeah,
it was
incredible.
Cool.
Brutal expansion year that year.
Yeah, they had a bad year.
Historically bad, I think. Okay, so you're going on, so playing for MTA, going into your senior year. At that point, you're starting to talk to colleges. Spoiler, you end up at the University of New Hampshire. So talk me through your senior year and the college recruiting process and how you ended up at New Hampshire.
I guess coming towards the end of my junior year, like I gained a ton of confidence, partly because of that game in the winter, and started to get a bit of interest from some schools, and doing some visits, which is just such an exciting time. Like I remember, I look back so fondly on that time of my life. But and then UNH reached out after the Indiana showcase, going into senior year summer, I think.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, like this is cool. I don't know much about New Hampshire. Like I looked up their program. They were top 30 or 40 at the time, I think, doing pretty well, but not quite breaking through into the top 25 just yet. And they asked me to come out for a camp, I think, and an unofficial visit. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, let's do it. I had looked into their coaching staff, very young coaching staff. The team had got better every single year since the coach had came on board, Mark Hubbard. And I went out, did decent enough in the camp or whatever, and ended up committing to them in December, I think. But
who else was in the running at the time? Like, where else were you going on visits?
DePaul, Portland, Wisconsin. Duke reached out really late, actually, which was cool, but it was
too late.
Air Force, I don't think I was going to go to Air Force, and then like Cornell, as I said, but
the long hair might not have lasted long.
Air Force. Maybe I'd fit in now.
That's awesome. Okay, so then you commit in December, finish out, and then head off to New Hampshire. I get you were playing the DA, so you never got to play high school soccer or anything like that, huh?
No.
But were you going to a public high school? Right?
I was,
but just like couldn't play for the high school team.
Yeah, there was a few of us, so it was. We were getting the stick from our friends, there was a couple of us.
I mean, DA is the greatest, and like you played D1 soccer because of DA, but and I played high school soccer. It's the best.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember being in high school and being like, oh gosh, I want to so bad, and then once I got to college, I was like, okay, this is
kind of the high school soccer.
The high school experience,
100%.
Just playing in front of your friends.
So you get to New Hampshire, and you were speaking about the young coaching staff and the team getting better and better and better, and you have a I mean, from a team standpoint, a brilliant 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, NCAA tournament every single year, won some first round NCAA tournament games. Let's talk about the freshman year first. You guys went 15-3. You made 20 appearances, got 4 goals and an assist. You were on like the all freshman team for the conference. You won a first round NCAA tournament game. Like hell of a freshman year to just jump straight into the college ranks and be part of a kind of basically a top 25 program and be playing consistently for them as a true freshman.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't a true freshman that year, actually.
Oh, you weren't?
No. So I came in 2018. And
okay. I missed this.
During our first preseason game against BU, from the previous surgeries, I chipped a little bone off that I had gotten on a bone graft from the original knee surgeries in 2015.
Sure.
So I had to get another minor surgery, and that put me out for like 8 weeks. And I came back at the end of the season. They were like, you can play if you want to, but you probably won't get more than like 20, 30 minutes a game. Like,
you might as well redshirt.
Yeah, you might as well redshirt. And obviously, in retrospect, having COVID happen, I wish I would have just played. But
sure, yeah.
But and then so I did have time that spring to settle in and develop and grow my own game to fit the college style a bit better.
Okay, got you.
UNH's style. So
okay, got you. How was that 2018 year? Like the team at that time?
Good.
Didn't look at them.
Yeah, pretty good. We won our first America East championship in the tournament or their conference tournament. I want to say we won the regular season, but I could be wrong. And then unfortunately lost to Colgate actually in the first round of the tourney.
Okay, got you. Okay, so then second year, redshirt freshman year.
Yeah.
This is when you're named like all freshman team and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And do really well. You actually beat. I missed this on Anthony's episode, but
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, you guys played each other in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And you guys beat them.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize when we were doing Anthony's episode that you went to New Hampshire. So I completely missed that. But have you guys talked about that at all?
Yeah, we were chatting about that.
So you've given him some shit about it?
A little bit. Can we swear?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to think about what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's all good. I think the episode with Coleman got a little out of control, and I put a content warning off the top of it. Normally we kind of avoid it, but sometimes it'll slip out. So that one's on me.
No, you're good. Tony and I were talking about that a little bit. We had a good team that year, so it was fun. I remember he was saying that we were a tough team to play against because I remember that game pretty well, and they were sitting back a lot. They made it hard on us, but we were able to scrape one.
Yeah, that Fairleigh Dickinson team was just like a lot of guys like Anthony, really athletic, really like raw physical tools, and they seemed to sit deep and counter you. And,
they had some big players on that team.
Yeah,
like really tall, really tall, really strong.
Yeah. Sophomore year, COVID hits. Tell me about your COVID experience. Everyone's got a same but similar but different story on COVID.
COVID experience.
Yeah. I mean, it went really well for you on the field, like once you did actually play.
Once we got to playing,
Yeah.
Obviously, COVID spring and summer and being in lockdown wasn't too fun.
Did you go home or did you
I went home, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They sent us all home for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden,
that was the same.
6 months later,
Yeah. I lost my senior year to it.
Did you?
Yeah.
So no graduation?
I graduated, but I just I didn't get to play my senior year of college soccer, so I just because I was supposed to graduate in 3.5, and it just the same thing where I was like, I went home and then I was training, thinking we were going to get back for the fall, and it just never happened.
Where did you play?
Queens University. It was a D2 school in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So
have they now gone D1?
They have now gone D1. They just beat Clemson. So
did they?
Yeah, trust me, I was letting Sean know.
Yeah, good. Somebody needs to do that to him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't hesitate to remind you that he's a national champion pretty much every chance he gets.
Yep.
But yeah, so at least it was a little earlier for you, so you had an opportunity to kind of get back to it.
Yeah.
And then you got that spring to play and made the NCAA tournament again and ended up having I think you were first team all conference.
Yeah.
For what it was worth in that shortened season. But,
that fall was super disappointing. I remember once the season got announced that it was canceled in the summer, but I think it gave us as a team like good time to settle in and know each other and know how we play. Even though it was very uncomfortable being like not allowed in the locker room and we were under the bleachers, masks on.
Early on, training individually. And doing
groups
all
of 4.
things.
It was frustrating, but looking back on it, it is what it was like.
Yeah.
And came out in the spring, and I think everybody was hungry just to get back out there and have some fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think we had a bit of a rocky start that year within the group. Not necessarily results wise, just in terms of how we were playing. And we had a few kind of serious chats, and I think people said some things that needed to be said, and we were able to turn it around and win the conference.
Yep.
And go to the tourney. Yeah.
Yeah, and lost to Kentucky in the
Lost
first
to
round.
Kentucky.
This is the only year you didn't win an NCAA tournament game, actually.
Yeah.
You won your first round game every other year you were there.
Yeah.
So, and junior year, I think, is like maybe your best year individually.
Yeah.
I think you played and started in every single game.
Yeah.
21 games, 21 starts, 7 goals, 2 assists. I'm a little confused how you were like first team all conference in the spring and then weren't in an all conference team as a junior.
No, I was.
Oh, you were. They just screw it up on the
wrong.
website.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
I think UNH like stopped updating that, if that's where you got that info.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the UNH website.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they're doing you wrong.
They're doing me wrong.
You
man.
were
They're doing
continuing
me
to
wrong.
deliver the honors.
Did they put midfielder of the year on there
I think they did for
for the spring?
The spring. Yeah.
For the spring. Yeah.
Okay.
But
cool.
then Yannick came in and screwed me.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that, because you have some pretty like big name teammates that you played with throughout the time. The 3 that jumped out to me: Josh Bauer, who's a center back at Nashville SC right now; Yannick Bright with Inter Miami right now; and then Moise Bombito, who's now playing for Nice.
Yeah.
And got drafted 3rd overall by the Rapids and really broke out. But those are the 3 that jumped out to me. Any other like pro players from your time that you that ended up making the jump alongside you?
Yeah, Jasem Kolilot, who's now at Forge.
That's right.
Up in
He
Canada.
got drafted by LAFC originally.
He got drafted by LA.
Yeah.
Tola Shomi got drafted by Atlanta. Ended up coming back to school that following year, and then actually signed with Riverhounds, funnily enough. So
is he still there with Riverhounds?
He is not.
Oh, okay.
He's over with Crawley Town in League One in England.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Or in League Two, they got relegated.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tola.
Tough.
Yeah. But he, I guess he played for Riverhounds and then signed for Louisville, actually. So, and then got to move over to Crawley, which he's from England originally, and was happy to get over there.
Yeah.
But a handful of guys. Chris Pinkham played with Val at Austin too.
Oh, yep.
Several guys. Chris Wingate,
older
Chris
guy.
Wingate, baller,
absolutely.
baller.
Yeah. He's like the first one that got drafted from the program.
I think he was the first guy.
Yeah, and then since then, I mean, the program has like really become like a force in the conference and is like a consistent contender at the top. So
it's a really good program, great players. I mean, Moise is outrageous. Like the fact that he was.
What was it like playing with him?
Yeah,
I think I saw a quote from the coach. It was like the most athletic player he'd ever coached.
100%.
Just
absolutely, but also probably with his feet, such good quality too. Like he's just got everything. There's a reason he's playing for Nice, like in the Canadian national team. He's quality. Yannick is up there too. Like Yannick's so fun to play with. It just makes everything easy on the people in front of him. And
in what way? Just because he breaks up play.
Play and like is able to connect with you so easily. But you can just always trust him being behind you. That if they get a counter, 99% of the time he'll be there to step in. And yeah.
And Josh Bauer would have been there when you were younger, right?
He was there my first 2 years. Only played with him for 1.
Okay.
I think he was planning on coming back for that 2020 fall, and then COVID happened, and he decided to go early. But Josh is great too. He's such a leader, and speaking of athletes, he's a freaking athlete.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like I was drafted to Nashville and spent some time with him down there, and he's just like such a professional. So even since college, he's gotten quite a bit better and just grown into himself even more. He's great though.
Over these years, some good stuff. Mark Hubbard was the head coach, right?
Yeah.
What was it like playing for him, and what was the style of play there?
It was great playing for him. He is a very, very good coach. Obsessed with like details, hyper obsessed, but that's what makes him as good as he is. And we played like a 4-4-2 diamond, and he just like had it down how he wanted us to play. Like if we were going up against teams, we weren't adjusting to what they were doing. It was, we're going to play our game and you're going to have to deal with it. And now it gets him places. Like, you know, he's at NC State, and I believe they've just gotten the #1 ranking in the most recent college rankings. So congrats to Hubs.
Yeah. But when did he move to NC State? After you left, right?
After I left, he had one more season, and then that winter of 23-24.
Yeah. That proves how good of a coach he is, right? Because, I mean, NC State are playing in the best men's soccer conference, the ACC, and they've been sort of a cellar dweller for a while and not delivering on their potential. So if they're now back at the top, then like you can point to one person then. Yeah. Were you playing on the outside of that diamond? In that
outside
system?
of the diamond mostly, on the left or right, and then every once in a while fill in at the 10.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Let's talk about the senior year. What I'm really interested to know, a little less appearances, a little less starts, injury issues.
Injury issues.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah. Just little muscle stuff that I like never ran into. I had had some issues with the knee over the summer, and I wasn't playing as much as I'd hoped to. I didn't play at all in USL2 that summer. But came out of that, and I think I like tried to push too quick to get back in for the fall, because everybody wants to play for the fall. Yeah. And just did some muscle stuff that I wasn't really accustomed to.
It's just so tough in the college game too, because you're playing so many games in such a short amount of time. Yeah. In the pro game, like, okay, like you're out with a hamstring strain, okay, you might miss 3 games and you'll be back. It's a 34 game season. It's going to be okay. But you get a small hamstring strain in college, all of a sudden you've missed like a quarter of the season. And it's really, and then you end up rushing back because you feel the urgency because there's so few games, and then you just compound the issue over and over again when you end up with those muscle issues. So, in kind of an insane year though, you guys won the America East tournament for the 3rd year out of your 4 years there. You won your first round NCAA game again, 2-1 over Seton Hall, and then you lost an insane game at FIU.
Absolutely
in insane. Which you were kind of the centerpiece.
Kind of, yeah.
Because you end up scoring 2 goals. So it's a 2-2 draw through overtime. 1-1 draw through regulation. You scored directly off a corner. Yeah. I watched that goal. Yeah. We'll put it up on the screen. I'll send it to Omar and put it up on the screen. It looked like it was pouring rain.
Pouring rain. Like,
and you just like whipped one in at the near post.
Our plan was whip it in at the near post every time, and we had a couple chances where guys, like, I thought we were going to score. Yeah. And then that one just, nobody touched it and it went right in. So. And
then 2 minutes left. You guys are down 2-1 in overtime. 2 minutes left in overtime, trying to send it to penalties, and you get a free kick right on top of the box. Were you the free kick taker? Yeah. Like always. Like there was no question you were going to be taking the free kick. Yep. Okay. This is where a deflection off the wall goes in your... This didn't deflect off the wall? Didn't. Okay. Deflect. We'll have it up on the screen too for our YouTube listeners. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, then head to our YouTube and you can see it. But it just kind of goes straight in. Yeah. Like I'm not really sure what the goalkeeper's doing here. Yeah. But talk me through that moment. That one? Yeah, talk me through that goal, that free kick, what you're thinking with 2 minutes left with your NCAA tournament life on the line.
Yeah, I think I remember just telling myself, like, just make sure you get it on frame. Like, make him make a save. It's pouring rain, terrible day to be a keeper. Yeah. And the way I hit frees, I generally try to, like, dip them a little bit. This one I remember trying to just, like, open my foot up and make it move. So I hit it, and it was like knuckling a little, and I think it just wrong-footed him slightly, and that was all we needed to happen. Okay. Bit of good fortune, but also
classic college replays. They're not there's like one angle of it, right? There's not like, oh, well, let's go look from behind the goal. It's like there's one angle of the goal, and the way it wrong foots him makes it look like it deflects, but if it's moving, that makes sense. Yeah. Got pretty electric celebration.
It was incredible. Gosh, like that game, it irks me because I can't believe we lost it and we had so many chances. But I also remember it so fondly. Like just 2 of my favorite knee slides ever into my boys on the bench and the subs. Natural grass
surface, pouring rain, like perfect knee slide weather.
Yeah, perfect. We don't get the natural grass up in New Hampshire. We had the turf, so you can do that very, very seldom.
So what I want to know is there's not a lot of detail about the penalty shootout. It's an insane penalty shootout. You guys lost 10-9 in the penalty shootout. walk me through how the penalty shootout went down, because every recap I can find doesn't go like kick by kick. It's only just like, oh, they lost 10-9. I'm like, well, I want a little more detail. So walk me through what that penalty shootout was like.
It was insane. Let me think about it. So if memory serves, Moyes went first. And unfortunately, Moyes, who is one of the more consistent pen takers I've ever seen, he's got a fun little run up and he does a big jump.
Which is why he goes first, right? You want you want your most consistent.
Yeah, you want your better guys taking it first. And his unfortunately gets saved. So we're like off rip. Oh no, like shoot. But we have Jossam, who I mentioned in goal, who is such a good pen stopper. So we've, mixed emotions at that point. And then I think it's the next pen he saves. Okay. So we're right back in it and we're feeling good. And then everybody just starts scoring. So I want to say I went fourth. I don't know why, but I kind of like to go fourth in pen shootouts.
It tends to be more often than not the deciding pin,
one
way or the other. Like,
yeah, it can be.
Yeah. Just oftentimes if you take fifth, you end up like not getting to take.
Yeah.
Because it goes one way or the other. So I feel like fourth is a good slot to be in.
Yeah. But. And I had taken a couple pens that year in game, so felt decently confident. But I had gone either which side. So this one, I decided I'm just going to go down the middle. I hit it down the middle, goal.
Nice.
Yeah, perfect. Goal's a goal. And then everybody keeps scoring.
Gosh.
And I want to say it was like the 8th pen or something.
Were you guys going first or second?
Good question. I think first.
Okay.
I think first.
Because that means you're scoring off the rip and then have a chance to win every time, and then it's like a letdown every single time.
Yeah, we were going first actually. I know for a fact.
So you're like ready to sprint down the field every time, and then they score. And you're like, I gotta go again.
Yeah. So I think it's like the 8th pen, and one of our guys, big German guy, who is like Mr. Reliable all year, like super good player. You can tell he doesn't want to take it.
And there's a reason he's taking like near the end of the order. Yeah.
But he goes up, he takes it, guy saves it, and then it's all eyes on Joss.
Yeah.
And sudden death, they've got the go ahead, and he saves it.
Oh my gosh.
we're still going.
Yeah.
And then I think
when that happens, you're like, we're winning.
Well, one would hope, but
yeah, it's like, but like that's the feeling is like once you're like back against the wall, you're like, oh, we've lost, and then Joss saves it. You're like, that's that moment where you're like, oh, like it's meant to be. Like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. No, we were confident.
Yeah.
And coming out of that, I remember thinking to myself like, wait, am I gonna have to take two? Like,
oh, because it's gonna come back. Around.
Yeah. I was like, I've never felt this feeling before. Like this is nerve wracking. And it goes to all through 10 outfield players.
So we're down to the goalkeepers.
We thought. But then the ref is like, yeah, the keepers don't need to take them. And we're like, what? Like, I've never heard of anything like that. I don't know if it's a college rule or what, but the keepers didn't have to take them. And Joss was like, yeah, I don't want to take it. If you guys can take it, take it. And I was like, okay, I'll take the first one then for the second go around.
Yeah.
And did a little stutter hop.
Yeah.
Put it left and scored. And we're still going. And then I think...
So you scored 4 goals in this game at this point.
4 goals, yeah. 4 times I put it in the net. And I think they scored the next one. And then our next guy to step up is this big German center back, Nils. And
not the same one that didn't want to take earlier.
Not the same one.
Okay, yeah.
Good player as well. Very good player. And he had already made his one. Like he was somebody who had taken pens throughout the year. Like guy you feel confident in. And I think he put it wide. And then they step up, and their big brute center back sticks it straight in the top corner, like perfect pen, nothing Joss could do. And it was just like devastating. But go out with your head high, I guess. Like we put everything out there. So
yeah, that's brutal. I mean, at least you can kind of like, from an individual standpoint, you can walk away being like, I've done pretty much everything I can.
I did what I could.
I mean, I know, and that's always a devastating feeling too, because redshirt senior at that point. I assume you're not going, like I assume this is your last run.
Yeah.
Like you're going to the draft. You're gonna go try to play pro.
Yeah, hopefully.
So it's like a devastating feeling to like know the run is over after you spent for you 5 years at New Hampshire and thinking like this is the time we're gonna get past the second round. We're gonna get hot. We're gonna go on a run. Yeah. For it to end like that is really devastating stuff.
Especially FIU, we had beat 3-0 earlier in the year. At home, and then we got them lined up in the tournament. We were like, absolutely, let's do this. Yeah, hell yeah. So it was disappointing, but it was what it was, and I felt like I could walk away from my college career like very, very happy and proud of the people I got to play with and what I had done there.
No, it's nice. It's nice. I kind of wish for my college career I had like known it was the end. Mine was the end of the junior year. We were in the second round of the NCAA tournament. We lost 1-0 in the second game off a corner in like the 75th minute. And it's like at that point I thought I had a senior year. And like now it's like looking back on it, that was my last college game. But like,
that's crazy.
But at least walking away from it, like, and you get to take the trip back with the boys. And like, know it's kind of the end. But what's the decision-making process going into the draft, getting an agent, all of that kind of stuff at the end of the semester there?
So as you said, it was kind of an injury-filled year. So I had tried to put myself in the headspace of just like whatever happens. I'd love to play pro. It's like been my dream as a kid, so I'm definitely going to give it a go. And regardless if I get drafted or not, I'll go on trial somewhere or do what I need to do to know within myself like I tried.
Sure.
And I didn't know if I was going to get drafted. And then pre-draft, I got a call from a scout at Nashville, and they were doing like a pre-draft interview. They said, we're interested in you. No promises or anything, but we'll see what happens. And I had been speaking to agents throughout the fall. Just before the draft, signed on with Patrick McCabe from Stellar, Coleman's agent as well. And luckily enough on draft night, I didn't hear my name called, I guess, because they only streamed the first round.
It's just the ticker.
I got to see my name on a screen.
Okay. Where were you when you found out?
I was in a Chipotle parking lot. So
why were you in a Chipotle parking lot during the draft?
So we were over at my brother's apartment, myself and two of my best friends and my brother, and we're watching the first round and seeing some guys go through. There were a couple other Minnesota guys that got drafted that year, like Xavier Zenge, who's now at Lexington, Herbert Endelay, and Emmanuel Iwe as well. So we were watching, and their names got called in the first round, and the first round wrapped up, and we were like, okay, let's go grab some food quick, and then we'll be back in no time to watch second and third. But second and third starts, and our second starts, and it's just flying. Like names are coming up so quick. So we've already ordered, and like we have to go pick up our Chipotle. So we're waiting a little bit, and then we're like, all right, like time to go, and it's third round now. And we're driving in the car, and I guess I wasn't in a Chipotle parking lot completely, but we were on the way, and just refreshing, and it's the 78th pick. Nashville are up. I'm like, this is probably my last chance.
It's like I'm either gonna get taken here or I'm not gonna get taken. Kind of thing.
And I'm refreshing, and I get nothing, and my brother just screams, Rory! And we all just started freaking out. Snow is pouring down, so I think my brother swerved a little bit in the road. We're driving down Hennepin Avenue and turn into the Chipotle, just freaking out, screaming, celebrating. I like dropped into a squat with my heart in my hands in the Chipotle parking lot.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a really special moment, and I'm so happy that I got to share it with like those three people especially. Because they're some of the closest people in my life, and I love them so much. But awesome moment. Think about it so fondly.
That's so cool. And it's like Chipotle it's almost like lot. More fun that it becomes a moment like that, right? Like,
it's so random. Chipotle parking lot, like it's just so unexpected. And nothing was guaranteed for me, like. So I was very happy about it.
Josh gets drafted that year as well.
Josh got drafted before
your goalkeeper.
me,
He gets to go second round in LAFC, and then Moise had signed a Generation Adidas deal.
Yeah.
And he went third overall to the Rapids.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there was no I know I see some colleges when they know they'll have a couple guys that might get drafted, they do like a draft party or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess there was none of that. You guys were all off doing your own thing, or
they did one for Moise.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know,
everyone knew he was going to go in the top
happen.
5, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. But Josh and I weren't sure. So
you don't want to do.
It would have been awkward.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't want to do the party when you're like unsure if you're going to get drafted in those later rounds. You don't want to do the party and then be like, all right, well.
Exactly. Just sitting in the back. Yeah, I'm very happy for them.
Yeah, for sure. You go off to Nashville.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this some with other guys that have been drafted and it worked out or it didn't work out or whatever. I think some people aren't aware that you get drafted, you're not like, oh, here's your contract. No. You're going to be with Nashville SC in, what year was this, 2023?
January 23, yeah.
Yeah, January 2023. You're not just like guaranteed. You're essentially like, hey, you're coming to preseason, you're on trial now.
Yeah.
So talk me through what the process was like after you finished celebrating getting drafted. Okay, now we're talking to Nashville and the coaches and we're getting organized for preseason. What was that whole experience like building up into that?
Yeah, it was like all gas from the point that I got drafted. Got to get ready for preseason. And then there was the rookie symposium down in Orlando just at the start of January. So just working out, getting as prepped as I can be, and then heading down to Orlando, and then straight from Orlando up to Nashville, right into like medical and physical testing to get set. Yeah. Unfortunately for me, I never got the chance to train with them because I ended up getting my medical failed because of a heart condition that I used to have. And I had gotten a procedure on that to clear it up. But in the conference final of my last fall, I had felt it act up in the game. And I told the AT that, and was like, hey, this happened. Could, my name's not on the list of people to get the echocardiogram. Could I do it just to double check?
Sure.
I feel totally fine, but just to be smart, it's your heart. And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm going to need to talk to the cardiologist about this. And he spoke to the cardiologist, and they got back to me a couple days later and were like, yeah, you can't do anything until you either get another procedure on it or you can't do anything. That was it.
Yeah.
So I left very disappointed, one huge high all of a sudden to devastating low. I was so sad. Back up to school and got a procedure on it at Mass General. Just it's called a EP study. The cardiologist at Boston said it was completely unnecessary. All my tests were totally fine. Yeah. But got it because I wanted to go back down to Nashville. And then they're like, yeah, you can come to Huntsville. And I went down to Huntsville.
Which is their MLS Next Pro.
Their Next Pro team, yeah. And at that point, it was February, and it kind of seemed like their roster was pretty much set. They kept me around for 4 days, and then we're like, yeah, we have our center mids. We're happy.
Yeah.
We feel you can play here, but we just don't need you. So I left and went home, and once again I was very at a low point.
Sure.
And then when I was home, I was just training, doing what I could to stay fit. And I got a text. I texted an old coach of mine and said hey, could you reach out to Minnesota United and see if I could just come in and train just to stay fit, not necessarily to come on trial if they don't want me to, but and then I got a text back from him and was like, just spoke to Amos. Amos is a guy who works for the club. He said, you're coming in tomorrow. I was like, what? And this was right after I had just gotten out from training by myself, and I got a voicemail or something from my agent, and he's like, hey, Minnesota want you to come in tomorrow. Can you make it happen? But the first way I found out from my childhood coach, I thought was just hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then I was in with them. and ended up signing to there too. So yeah.
Okay. So when you got in, did you jump straight in training with their first team at the time, training with their second team?
I remember
the situation.
First day it was mixed. It was like a lot of second team guys, a lot of first team guys. And I was like, oh damn, okay, let's do this.
And the season's like already underway at this point. This is like mid-March, right? Or like
no, this wasn't quite mid-March. I think it was late February, so pretty late, like getting to that point.
Sure.
And yeah, just training with mostly second team. But there were a few days that there was like a big bundle of guys who hadn't gotten the minutes at the weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just like remember going in every day like, all right, just like work as hard as you can work and do what you can to show yourself.
Yeah. I mean, for you at this point, you're just like, well, at least I finally have an extended opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. This is the best it's been.
Yeah. And being at home was obviously very nice. At the time, my parents were both out of town actually. So my brother was at home to watch the house, and him and I were just hanging out every day.
Yeah.
And life could be worse. Life could be worse, way worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was obviously being on trial is not at all ideal. It's a pretty stressful period, and I realized that quickly. But playing soccer for somewhat not for a living at the time, as I wasn't getting anything, but playing soccer. And it was fun.
Being on trial is tough. You never know if like the next day they're just gonna be like, don't come back.
Yeah.
You don't even know that the next day is guaranteed at really any point.
Not at all.
At what point did you get the contract offer?
Probably 2.5 weeks into the trial. We had done like 2 preseason games in that period. Felt like I was able to show myself enough. 2.5 weeks in, they were like, hey, we need you to do these medical tests, do X, Y, and Z to prep. And I was like, okay, like something happening here. And then probably around the 3rd week, they offered me a contract, and signed that real quick.
Yeah, you're like, I'll take anything. Like, let's do this thing.
Yeah.
2023 goes pretty well. You're a pretty like integral part of the MLS Next Pro team. You made 23 appearances, scored 2 goals and 2 assists. Like on paper, it seems like things went well. In real life, did things go well in that first year? Yeah,
I mean, for me, it was like just trying to figure things out, like learn the ropes as quick as I can, see how things operate, and then once I kind of settled in, I felt like I was able to do my thing on the field, and I was playing a different role, either like as a slightly deeper 8 than I was hoping for, but it went pretty well. We were disappointed not to make playoffs that year. We missed out by goal differential, I think, on the last day. But
I was at Charlotte FC at the time, so I was with Crown Legacy, who were like unbelievable.
They were.
First 2 years.
They were.
Especially the second year in 2024, which 2024 as well goes similarly. As you go into 2024, were you a part of first team preseason going into 2024? What did that like build up look like, or were you mostly part of the second team picture?
So,
here we go.
I fractured a bone in my foot in October. This is just going to be like an injury collage. But fractured a bone.
Episode title: How to Deal with Injuries with Rory O'Driscoll.
Seriously. But fractured a bone in my foot after the season had already ended, and we were sticking around to like train and be available for the first team. And I'm in like a little rondo, and this kid comes, and I'm trying to flick it with the outside of my foot. He hits the ball. My foot dives into the ground, and it is a 5th metatarsal fracture. So like, I think Chris Pinzone had it last year. He was saying, a few guys,
that like bone on the very outside of the foot, right? Like the pinky toe bone, essentially.
And not the one you want to fracture if you have to fracture a bone in your foot. So that was a quick surgery, and then like ended up being like a 4-month recovery process. So I didn't get back into preseason until February, so I missed out on going to Arizona. I think that was where they went that year, which was disappointing because I haven't really had like a full. I haven't had at all like a full MLS preseason. Which I wanted bad. Still want.
Absolutely. That was that 2023 season. Started off with Adrian Heath in charge, who was their only head coach from 2017 through 2023. He gets let go. Macaulay takes over as interim head coach. I think Macaulay still led that preseason before they got Eric Ramsey in, or because I thought they got Eric Ramsey in kind of late.
They did.
Yeah,
they did. But Sean left. Macaulay left in December. I want to say.
That's right. He left
signed for Indy, and then it was Cameron Knowles, who had been the second team head coach for me the year prior, who stepped in as the interim head coach and did just like brilliantly well. So I think they were undefeated through 4 games, but they had announced the signing of Eric pretty early on. He just had to like wait on his visa to come in.
Right.
But yeah, Cam did an absolute job and filled in. So
even worse for you then, right? Like
sitting
there injured, and the second team manager's coaching the first team off at preseason. You're like, this is like an ideal situation theoretically. Injury withheld, but yeah.
Cam's great, and I felt like he knew me well as a player, so it would have been a great opportunity. But
did he drop back down to coaching the second team?
He didn't. No, he stayed on as an assistant.
Staff. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So it's him, Eric, and Dennis Lawrence. Yeah. That's the big 3.
Yeah, and obviously that project's gone well. Minnesota are near the top of the Western Conference, doing really well right now. 2024 for the second team goes well for you as well. You got 6 goals and 2 assists across 20 appearances, and made your MLS debut.
I did, yeah. That was fun.
Talk me through what it was like, because they signed you to one of the short-term agreements, and you came in off the bench for just a minute off the bench in a 3-2 loss away at Portland. So it's kind of unfortunate it didn't come at home, because that would have maybe been a cooler moment.
Well, I'll talk about the Portland game first, but I kind of did get that moment the year prior.
Tell the story then.
But for Portland, it was a funny one. I got the short-term contract. They were kind of low on players, injuries, international duty, and I had scored in the game prior and felt like I was playing well for second team. Scored on Carver, actually.
Because Carver was at Portland.
And we had just played Portland too. So
on June 26th, and then the Portland first team games were on June 29th.
So flew out there, tried not to like amp myself up too much, knowing like I didn't know if I was going to play or not. Sometimes they call guys up and you just end up sitting there. And I'm warming up, and I got called over in like the 86th minute or something, and then I'm standing there and we get scored on. And he's like, wait, okay, you might not be going in, like we're gonna bring Jordan over, he's a striker, he'll go in if they count the goal. If they don't count the goal, you're in. And they ended up calling it back for a handball or offside or whatever. So by the grace of whomever, I was lucky enough to get in. But I get in, and it's 2-2 now. And then I'm running over to the middle of the pitch. They have a free kick way back at like half field, and their right center back takes it, plays it out to their right back whips it down the line to winger serves it in, they score right away. I didn't get 20 yards close to the ball before they scored.
Watching this
So it was eventful, and pretty disappointing. Just ran down the field, they score. Oh no. But it was on an individual note, like a really special moment for me, and something that you dream of, particularly with like your hometown team. But it gives you confidence too, like that you can compete at that level. So I got subbed in the 89th, so one minute on paper, but there was 7 minutes of added time, so I like to say that 7 or 8, and it was just from that point on just like fight to try to get one back, and we unfortunately weren't able to, but I got pretty damn lucky with that handball or the offside. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to double check, but
gosh, that would have been so brutal.
Like
you were like already standing there like with the jersey on and everything, and then have to go sit back down would have been crushing.
I was all set to get out there, and then the pullback would have been crazy.
Considering all of these like injury, like this bad stroke of injury luck, I feel like your career deserved that like one moment of good luck.
That's a good way to look at it. Absolutely.
What was the story from 2023 where you felt like you had the moment at home?
So there was an international friendly against FC Kaiserslautern, which is a Bundesliga 2 team, and they signed on like a bunch of the second team guys who were like, we all expected to play, and I was like, felt like I was doing well at the time, expected to play, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, Nashville still has your rights, so you can't play in any teams for an MLS, or any games for an MLS team.
Oh gosh.
And then I'm like, what? Like, they kept me for 2 days. Like, how is that allowed? And I just started talking to my agent, and he was like, yeah, that, like, we should be able to work around that. Like, I'll talk to them. And sometimes when that happens, like, the Minnesota United would have to buy the rights off of Nashville. But I guess Nashville didn't actually have them because I was only there for so long.
Okay.
And day of the game, I get a note from the technical director from the second team. He's like, yeah, you're good to go. Like, we'll get you signed on. And thankfully, I got out there, played for 15, 20 minutes. Almost got an assist or two, actually.
Oh, cool.
And, like, I felt like I played well in that game. It was just so much fun, though. Like, I remember just being in the moment, just like, yeah, just have fun with it. And just
Where did the second team play home games?
We played up in Blaine, Minnesota,
okay,
so quite a ways outside the city, like 35 minutes.
Yeah. So that was your one experience playing at Allianz Field, right?
Yeah.
Which is an incredible stadium.
Incredible
by the way.
stadium. Yeah.
And must have been pretty cool to just like kind of get that, like.
Yeah.
There's one thing playing for the second team, and there's another thing like walking into an MLS stadium and getting that appearance, whether it's in an MLS game or not, and just like, especially for your hometown team, must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. It was very, very cool. And at the end of the game, like, my whole family was there. Bunch of friends that like just so happened to be there. Friends of friends. It was big gaggle, and it was just really special. Super special. Yeah.
That's a cool moment.
Yeah.
I mean, 2024, like, looking at it on paper, right? It goes well for you. They do sign you to a short-term agreement. You get on that game against Portland. You ended the season really well. Like, I totaled it up. Like, you had a goal or an assist in the final four, each in the final 4 games. You scored all of your goals across the final 13 games. So you ended with the second team on a pretty big hot streak.
Yeah.
And then you leave in the off season. So what's the story?
Came out of the year, as you say, felt like I was doing well, and I think they had been like very happy with me, but there was a new technical director that had come in, Khalid, and he was just trying to shift a bit younger with the second team group and the first team group, and they felt that I had aged out a little bit, and I wasn't one of their guys that they were going to bring up from second team to first team.
Sure.
So it wasn't like, in no way on bad terms. Like, I have so much gratitude for Minnesota, but yeah, it was just, they felt like I didn't really have a place there anymore. And they said, like, yeah, you can absolutely stay on for second team in a bit of a leadership role. But I felt like that would be just not really doing my career justice. Like, I wanted to make a step, and I felt like USL Championship was the way to do that. So yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I think with MLS Next Pro as well, like, it's shifting more and more towards being a real youth league.
Yeah.
And so we had this conversation with Coleman, right? And like, once it like becomes clear there's not a pathway to the first team, it's not the greatest league to stick around in for a longer period of time.
Exactly.
And you get into catch-22 as a college player, right? Like, you sort of have to break through in that, like, in year 1 and year 2 at the latest.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you start at year 24, 25, 26, and they're like, okay, we're like, you're no longer kind of a developmental prospect in their eyes. Even though you're, as a professional, you're very young on your age, and your age on the paper, you're a little bit older. And you end up in that catch-22, and I think that's a common experience for a lot of guys in that scenario.
Totally.
So
it's an interesting spot to be in.
Yeah. So you decide that you're going to go USL Championship. What's that offseason like, and then how does it end up coming here?
I was hoping to go USL Championship, and then I felt like I had a decent year, as you say, and thought I would have a bit of interest, but I didn't have much interest from Championship at all. And I had a couple USL 1 teams reaching out, a handful, that I was definitely considering, but I wanted to push myself to play at the highest level. Like I want to play at the highest level I can. And it came to January and I hadn't signed anywhere yet. I wasn't getting the interest that I was hoping for. And I was like in not the best places once again, just, frustrated. And thankfully Vegas kind of just happened through a friend of a friend, and my agent was working on him. And they were like, yeah, let's. I went to the gym one day. This is kind of a how I found out moment, I guess, again. But I went to the gym one day, did it like a swim, and then 30 minutes later came out of the pool, checked my phone, and I had like 9 messages from my agent, and it was all like forwarded stuff from John, I think, just like, yeah, we'll give him a chance. Like, let's see him. So came in on trial here, and
back on trial
again.
On the nerves of trial
again. And yeah, we spent a few days here in Vegas, and then they were like, yeah, we want you to come to Coachella. Coachella went decent. Felt like I was starting to find my groove a little bit, and then against KC, landed on my shoulder and ended up like spraining my AC joint. So I was out for a little while, but I guess I had done somewhat enough to earn a contract, and thankfully signed that, and here we are.
There you go. Looking back on your season so far, you've made 12 appearances across all comps, 1 goal, 1 assist. The goal in that Jägermeister Cup, a goal against Orange County. Obviously, it's been interrupted by the knee injury over the summer, but now you're back. What's your perspective on how your individual season's gone so far, injury aside? Yeah,
injury aside, I think it's gone decent. From an individual standpoint, like I feel that I've grown and being in an environment where it's far more competitive than most next pro sides, I would say, just where like you're competing for that spot week in, week out, and there's never going to be a first team guy that comes down and is like, okay, he's going to play ahead of you.
The politics come in next pro a lot, right? Like, okay, it's like, this academy kid isn't training well, but like we think he's going to be good, and he's 15 years old, so we're going to give him the start over the weekend.
Exactly.
Whereas like this environment's like train well or don't play. It's pretty full stop period.
Totally.
Yeah.
Especially under Nocerino at the start of the year, like that was it. Like train well, don't play. And I think it was really good for me to be in like a truly, truly competitive environment where there's none of that politics and none of that matters. So individually, it's been a decent year. Decent.
You've just cleared your first Vegas summer. You played all your college soccer at New Hampshire. You played most of your youth soccer and most of your pro soccer to this point in Minneapolis. So really used to the snow. How was the heat in the desert?
Freaking hot, man.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I didn't really play in June or July.
You were like kind of injured during like the really, really hot part.
During the really hot part. But nonetheless, it's still damn hot stepping out there at 8:30 in the morning for training, and a few hot games here in August and September as well. Would you rather play a snow game with an orange ball or a game in July in Vegas in the heat? I'll take the snow game. You take the snow game? I'll take the snow game. Seems so miserable. I'll take... at least you can feel your toes when it's hot. That's true. That's true. I got stepped on in a game in 2019 and had a bruise on my toenail until like 2022 from a winter game at UNH. I'll take the snow game. I mean, I just don't want to play a snow game ever. Yeah, fair enough. I don't think I've ever played like a true snow game where like we've actually had to like plow the field. They're fun. They're fun. In what way are they fun? You slide everywhere, man. You just start sliding all over the place. And it's kind of prophetic with the snow coming down as you're running along the field, and like it's sweet. Oh my gosh, it sounds like
there's nothing worse than being on the bench in a snow game.
Yeah.
And like trying to warm up to come into a snow game.
That's very true.
Like you're just like sitting on the bench, your feet are bricks.
Yeah.
And you're trying to warm up and you're about to come in, you're gonna have to like touch the ball and you're like desperately trying to get feeling into your feet.
Yeah.
Starting the game is like a little bit, like at least you can just like stay warm.
Yeah.
But coming off the bench in a snow game seems like the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've played some cold games, but like nothing like true snow, orange ball stuff.
That's why I would never want to be a keeper. Just standing there. Just standing there all
in the
game.
Cold. Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah. Any good heat stories? Like
heat stories?
No, you haven't. Like I know, like when Elias got here.
Yeah.
Last year.
Oh right, yeah.
He like, I mean, he's coming from Scandinavia.
Yeah.
And he like second training session had to like go into the locker room and throw up because he got here in like August and just got dropped straight into it. But no real like, oh, I like passed out from heat exhaustion stories.
None yet, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, none that I can think of, thankfully.
Yeah, for sure. Well, okay. Let's talk about your career in general then. You know, you're finishing up your first season in the USL Championship. What are you hoping for out of your career, and like what are the next steps for you in an ideal world?
Yeah, I think I've kind of just come to this decision that I want to like play this game for as long as it makes sense for me to play physically, whatever that may be, and play it at the highest level that I can play. Like I want to push myself as far as I can go, and just like day in, day out, keep growing. Like just keep trying to get better every single day. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I asked this as the final question to everyone that comes on the pod because we spend a lot of time here. We spent probably over an hour just talking through like you growing up in Minneapolis all the way through New Hampshire, Nashville, Minnesota United, and now here. Looking back on that journey in this conversation, is there any like one point in your journey that sticks out to you as a real special moment or a real pivotal moment that has like made you who you are or that has gotten you to this point?
Yeah, my knee injuries in high school.
Yeah.
Like how I think I was like really down in the dumps during those times, like being in high school and not being able to let alone like play the game that I wanted to play, but also like hang out with my friends and be active in the way that I had always been for the previous decade and a half. So that was like, I was really down in the dumps, not feeling great. And I think how I came out of that and how I suffered through it, I guess, kind of molded who I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about you missing a pivotal part of your technical development at that time, but what you did get out of it is a pivotal point in your like mental and psychological development at a really key age, I think. So it's funny because you will look back on points like that in your life and they were like, it was the end of the world at that time.
Totally.
And
it always feels like it. Yeah.
It always feels like that. But then you look back on it and go, oh man, like if that hadn't happened to me, I don't know who I would even be today because it's so pivotal to who you've become.
Yeah. So completely agree.
Find that really fascinating. Well, Rory, thanks for spending so much time with us.
Thank you.
It's always enjoyable to do these, and your journey's fascinating. So, wishing you a lot of success and health going forward. As this has become a de facto injury episode. But had a good time, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Next chance to see Rory and the team in action this Saturday, away from home, playing against Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That game kicks off at 4:30 local time, so catch that on Triple SEN and ESPN Plus, and we'll see you here next time. Thanks.
It's gonna fall in behind for Pete Soko.